Hello, it is me, Anya, and my neuroplastic life. I just had my session with Dr. Mickel from Mickel Therapy, and it was really good. It went really well. He's really easy to talk to, really engaging, really funny. And I feel like we have good banter, which is important to me in working with a practitioner. And my takeaways from that session are really that this like long COVID or whatever it is that's going on, dysautonomia, I don't know. It's really being fueled by body emotions, which is what he's all about. And you can check out his YouTube channel, Mickel Therapy, or his online mickeltherapy.com to learn more about body emotions. But for me, lack of joy and fulfillment and loneliness, and so, yeah, that's my takeaway. And what I'm really seeing is that if I look at the evidence of that when I'm working with a client, then when in my own practice that I really enjoy working with, I get a lot of energy from that. When I'm sitting around at home and feeling miserable, I feel more miserable. And I can definitely see how my body is telling me to go out and do different things. So for this week, what I'm really going to be doing is getting my exercise back in. And he tells me that you will not crash from over like exertion, like post exertion malaise is like fundamentally underneath all of that is something to do with your emotions. And he's talking about body emotions. This is a hard concept, I think, to get around because I'm such a thinker. I'm so in my head and I want to analyze and like slice and dice. And I'm here in the States where we talk a lot about trauma, big T trauma, and I do have like a complex PTSD history. And the therapist I've been working with for years is like, you're just going to have this like sensitive brain because you have all this complex trauma. And so I think about it from this like therapy way in my brain. And what he's really pointing to is that this body consciousness or these body emotions are like the body's primal emotions of like anger, grief, lack of joy, lack of fulfillment, or body boredom and fear. And what I really want to do is I really, 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 really want to get back to exercise because that gives me so much joy and so much like joie de vivre. And I feel my best when I'm dancing, when I'm exercising, when I'm out every morning jogging. And also because I have ADHD, like it's really, really helpful to like have that time where I can just burn off my energy. You know, yeah, that was like how I was before. I said burn off my energy, and now I'm like, but I don't want to burn off energy because I don't have a lot right now. But with the ADHD brain. So yeah, in terms of post exertion malaise, he's like, you're not going to crash as a result of doing things. Your body is actually sending you a message that you're not doing something, or you have anger, or you have like an unmet need, or body boredom. So I'm going to investigate that and I'm going to let people know here on this channel how that goes. I'm going to try this week to be, even if it's like 2 or 3 minutes of like a little Zumba. I've been able to dance around the house for like 10 minutes, putting on music. I did like a very small walk yesterday. Also, I'm really deconditioned compared to how I was. So just kind of like noticing that, oh, okay, maybe I'm going to feel a little bit more fatigue in my muscles or something, and that's okay. My main thing is the fear loop. The fear loop that I'm like doing more damage to myself. I'm going to crash. And it's from overindulging in a lot of videos online. Like we're all going to be doing it, right? It's like for how long have we all been inundated with this like long COVID narrative, or even in my benzo withdrawal that I went through, and I had a channel on that for so long. It's like the narrative, the narrative, the narrative. And it kept me so scared that my brain is so primed and looking constantly for danger. And that's the loop. It's like, in the Gupta program, he talks about that, like that loop in the brain, or that cross wiring, like in DNRS, it's like the cross wiring of the brain. Like people are talking about it a lot, and people are getting better because they are learning how to disentangle that stuff. Why I like Mickel therapy, I think, is because I think it's like this way of looking at things that feels like such a huge paradigm shift for me, that it's like the big unknown. I've been studying neuroscience. I've been studying the mind body connection. I've taken all the classes. I've done all the things for years and years and years and years and years. And it hasn't fully gelled for me. It hasn't fully worked for me. I still feel like the fear symptom loop. In my benzo withdrawal, I did a lot of, in that recovery, I did a lot of mindfulness meditation, and that was excellent. And I definitely want to get back to it. But there's something about the Mickel therapy. It's like he's saying something that I want to understand. My body actually leans in, and I'm like, okay, tell me more about that. Like it's not making sense. So I want to put it to the test, if that's like, yeah. Um, all right, so that's my shout out for Mickel therapy. Let me know if you have any experience with it, if you've done it, if you have success stories. Yeah, and honestly, so I wanted this channel to be really like positive, and like people like building community around what works. So if you are a dissenter, if you're somebody who wants to just kind of like throw all your negative shit, go somewhere else. Okay. All right, y'all. Peace. And I'm going to keep making these videos. So let me know your thoughts.